Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. What's going on, guys? Now, interesting news here. Actually, pretty cool news if you ask me. But as we all know, December 17th at the Inglewood Forum. Great venue for boxing, by the way. But December 17th at the Inglewood Forum on HBO, you will have a tough upcoming light heavyweight contender with a whole lot of momentum after his knockout against Andre Fonfara, a guy in Joe Smith, facing Bernard Hopkins in what many say will be his final fight. Knock on wood, we don't know because B-Hop is B-Hop, but he's saying it's his final fight. And, credit to him, he's fighting a guy that is definitely, I wouldn't say he's definitely not the most skillful fighter in the world, but a guy who can punch, is strong, and definitely hungry. So, at 51 to be fighting someone of this magnitude, I think says a lot about Bernard Hopkins and the fighter he is. But with that being said, what I wanted to talk about was an article I found on BoxingScene.com that I'll leave for you guys in the description. And basically, it's the fact that Bernard Hopkins is now, once again, working with one of the best trainers in the game, as I've said many times, John David Jackson. As you guys know, they've worked together in the past. John David Jackson was with Hopkins and Nazim Richardson for the 2006 fight against Antonio Tarver, which was one of the better wins of Bernard's career. But here's what the article says. So basically, after the fight the Kovalev fight against Andre Ward, John David Jackson was available, and basically since then they've been working together. So John actually had some things to say about him working with Bernard, and they have an interesting history because John has been an opponent of Bernard when John was a fighter, and he lost 1997 against him in a 7th round TKO. And not just that, but as an opponent, he was the opposing trainer when Kovalev fought Hopkins in 2014. So, and now they're back together. It's just funny how things work. But here's what he said about working with Bernard Hopkins. He said, I quote, "It's been real good. Bernard's a real professional. He's been around the block, so he understands what he has to do for this fight. Camp's going good, and it's been a joy for me. Whatever I ask him to do, he does. He listens. There's not much I really had to tell him because he understands the game of boxing. But there's some small things I want to work on for this fight because I've been listening to Joe Smith talk, and I've heard what he said, so I pretty much understand his game plan. We just have to nullify a few things, and Bernard should come away with from this fight with the victory." And yeah, that's what it is. So it's just interesting how that stuff works out, and for me, it's pretty cool because if this is Bernard's last fight, it's just another sign that I'm not a really old guy, but it's another sign that I'm getting older because Bernard was like the first fighter I really ever liked in boxing when I was younger. First fight I ever watched was Hopkins versus Felix Trinidad with my family. So hopefully I would like to see him come out with a W and end his career on a high note, but we just don't know what happens in the game of boxing. But it's cool to see that for his last fight, one of my favorite fighters of all time and one of my favorite trainers of all time are working together, and they'll be hopefully coming out with a W against Joe Smith Jr. But I'm really hoping, just like any other boxing fan, that we don't get a stinker in that one, that we get an exciting fight, which is going to be hard because Bernard, especially now that he's older, has been a very safety first, low output kind of a fighter. So I don't expect him to try and really do anything that he hasn't that we're not accustomed to seeing him do. So we'll see what happens, man. But looking forward to a great fight. If I could go there for that one, I would, just for the simple fact that it's B-Hop's last fight supposedly. But yeah, man, let me know what you guys think. John David Jackson, Bernard Hopkins working together side by side for his quote unquote final fight. Leave your comments down below. Take the time to subscribe, and you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.